Oh yeah, so my name is Alex Slaughter. I'm one of the admission counselors here at the University of Colorado, Denver. I'm the admission counselor who works with all of our out-of-state students. So I'm kind of going to be your guru through all of this. So kind of any questions that you have, definitely I will be your point of contact. So to kind of start out, kind of me and the other admission counselors, we kind of got together and kind of wanted to talk about like why go to college, like what's kind of the benefit of going to college. And kind of the big ones we thought of was, finding yourself, having better pay, kind of having a bachelor's, you get more money out of the gate. There's more job opportunities, but also too, like college is just, it's a time to, make friends, make mistakes, change your mind, find what you like, what you don't like. And it really just gets you a little bit more prepared to kind of face the world compared, coming straight out of high school. And then kind of why CU Denver? So we have, you have thousands and thousands of colleges at your fingertips. There's so many options out there. And so kind of what makes CU Denver unique is definitely first and foremost, our location. We're located right in the heart of downtown Denver. So that just gives you so many opportunities, which I'll talk about a little bit later, of kind of some of the things that you can do. We are about a middle-sized school, so we have about 11,000 students. So we're not too big, not too small, we're kind of like Goldilocks, just right. And so it does, you get a chance to meet a lot of people, but also your class sizes are really small. So, the average class size is only about 27. We don't have those big, large lecture halls. I know personally, I'm from Texas. Originally, I moved here about 3 years ago, and I went to Texas A&M, and my freshman year, my first class I went to had 475 people. And it was hard. And I remember going to office hours. I sat front row, I asked questions, and still, when I turned in my final, Professor Pearlstein had no idea what my name was. And so definitely when I started at CU Denver, I kind of thought that was the normal college experience. I'm like, oh, like big lecture halls, that's what it's always like. But when I started at CU Denver, I was like, wait, it's different? Like, this isn't the experience that everyone has? And so even in your freshman year, like you're having these really small class sizes. Professors know you. They know your name, your nickname, like they really get to know you, which is really nice. And we do have tons of different degree programs. You can double major, you can minor, so there's a lot of options there. And for anyone, if you're interested in going into the medical school, we do have a partnership with the Antruth Medical Campus, so that definitely gives you an opportunity to, if you're interested in pre-med, nursing, orthopedic, surgery, physical therapy, any of that, we do have pathway programs that help kind of lead you towards the medical campus. And then a little bit about our diversity. So we are on the Auraria campus. So we kind of share a campus with two other schools. So we also have Metropolitan State University of Denver and Community College of Denver. And so you never have classes with these students, but at any given point, there could be about 40,000 students on campus. And so it's exciting because it gives you that feel of a big school. But again, your classes are still small. You're still kind of part of a smaller school. You can also join clubs and organizations at any of the other schools as well as events. It was pretty cool. Whenever I'm on campus, I'll always eat in the Tivoli Student Union, which they have a lot of fun options. My personal favorite is iPie. It's a great pizza place. And sometimes when I'm sitting there, I look very young. So a lot of times they think that I'm a student. So I get invited to a lot of these things. And it's pretty cool though, because like sitting there, like I got invited to like 5 different events. Like I got invited to a Bible study, a concert, a movie night. And it's just cool because being kind of 3 campuses, 3 universities kind of in one place is you just have more opportunities to meet more people. And then also we're a very diverse, campus. About 42% of our students, are students of color, identify as students of color. About 49% of our students are first generation students. So they're the first in their family to go to college. And we have students from 48 different states, 64 different countries. So you have students from, all walks of life that are coming to CU Denver. And then kind of with our degree program. So we do have a range. So our College of Architecture and Planning. So we are the only undergraduate architecture program in the state of Colorado. Our College of Arts and Media, so that's our film, music, singer-songwriter, and animation program. So we have a lot of famous alum that come out of that. With our singer-songwriter, we actually, the Fray, the group, the lead singer and one of the bass guitarists, they met at CU Denver, and they come back every semester. With our animation program, a lot of our students go on to work for Disney and Pixar. And then with our film, a lot of our students will go to work for documentaries. I know the lead sound engineer for Game of Thrones is a CU Denver alum, so it's a pretty cool school. With our business school, that's kind of your typical, with entrepreneurship, business administration, sports business, kind of marketing, all of your typical majors that are part of business. We do have kind of a benefactor. So Jake Jabs, who's the CEO of American Furniture Warehouse, which is a huge company out here in Colorado, you ever come here, you'll notice the big giant semis that have giant tigers on them. That is the American Furniture Warehouse delivery trucks. And so he'll come and visit once a semester, and he listens to any student who's enrolled in an entrepreneurship class. It's kind of like Shark Tank. He'll listen to their ideas, and he picks his favorite and gives them $10,000 to start up their company. So that's pretty cool. Our School of Education and Human Development, so that's kind of like our, if you wanted to become a teacher, we do have a pretty awesome program called Next Gen, where that is where you actually get paid to do your student teaching. So at any school, if you wanted to be a teacher, you have to do student teaching. But at CU Denver, there is a program where you actually would get paid. It's kind of like a part-time job, but you're also getting the hours that you need towards your degree. So it's a really great program. Our College of Engineering, Design, and Computing, we do have a partnership with the NFL to actually help design helmets to help against concussions. It's a $500 million grant that we were given to help with that. They also work with Elon Musk on the Hyperloop, so the really fast train. We have a lot of students working on that. We also have a prosthetics lab. It's called InWorks, and so a lot of students are working on like prosthetic arms and legs, which is creepy but cool. If that interests you. So, and then our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, that's definitely our largest college. It kind of encompasses everything from languages, English, history, philosophy, sociology, psychology, kind of all those, pre-health, anything like that is all kind of housed in there. And then our School of Public Affairs, that's our public health and our criminal justice programs, which the mayor of Denver, Michael Hancock, is a graduate of our School of Public Affairs. And so that's kind of the academic side. This is college. We want you to have some fun along the way too. So we do have about 120 clubs and organizations, and so they range. There's major specific ones. There are ones that are a little bit more geared towards like cultural or religious based, and there's ones that are just for fun. There's a paranormal investigation club, there's a ping pong club, so there's really, whatever you're interested in, there's a club for you. And I definitely encourage you, no matter what school you pick, join a club, because they're a lot of fun. Then we also have club sports. So we don't have any NCAA sports, but we do have club sports, so they do compete against other schools. And there are tryouts, but it's not quite at the NCAA level. And then we also have intramurals too. And then with the Adventure Desk, especially since you're coming from out of state, I would highly encourage you to take advantage of the Adventure Desk, because that is where they do a lot of trips. So they do, right now for the fall leaves, they do a lot of hikes, so you can go see the leaves changing in the Rockies. They do ski trips, they do snowshoeing. They also went to Moab last spring, so it's definitely a lot of fun opportunities. And then they also rent out equipment too. So if you are outdoorsy, you can go there, rent camping, hiking, skis, snowboards, any of that. That's all available for you for students. And then our student government, it's kind of your typical student council, but you are paid. If you wanted to be on student government, you are paid to do it. And our students, they actually do have a voice. So they were actually behind the building of our wellness center. So students really wanted a place that they could go in between classes. So they kind of petitioned and were like, hey, we want some place. So they built the wellness center, which is really state of the art. It was built about 2 years ago. There's a lap pool, there's a 20-person hot tub, rock climbing wall, there's a nap room, which is pretty awesome. If I was a student, that's where I would be, just napping all the time. They have like a big kitchen where they do nutritional, like they do like kind of like cooking shows, like they like teach students how to cook. And so there's a lot of opportunities there. And then off campus, like I said, Denver's an awesome city. I've been here for about 3 years. I absolutely love it. And the great thing about our location is all of this is within walking distance, except for the ski resorts. You can't walk to the ski resort, but everything else you can walk to. So you can go to 16th Street Mall, which has hundreds of restaurants. Larimer Square is the oldest block in Denver. It's really cool. It has all these like hanging lights. Denver Performing Arts Center. So if you're interested in musicals, theater, orchestras, comedians, we do offer discounted tickets too for students. We have tons of art galleries. We even have one on campus. There's tons of museums. Denver is very similar to Austin. There's tons of live music. We actually have some of the most small music venues in the nation. So there's tons of little hole in the wall places to go listen to up and coming bands. We have all 8 major sports teams. So if you're interested in sports, we also offer discounted tickets for that too. So you can go to the Rockies for like $10, the Nuggets or the Avalanche for like 15. So it's definitely a great opportunity. And then kind of our services on campus. So we have career services, which is there to kind of help you find a job, whether part-time when you're in school or, right when you're about to graduate. They do resume help, they do mock interviews. So it definitely gives you the opportunity to our job placement is amazing. Like our career services does so much for our students. With our undergraduate research, so that is, we are the only public research institute in the state of Colorado, which I know it's a lot of big fancy words, but really I know a lot of people think of research as like goggles and lab coats and you have to be in a lab, but really with research, it can be anything you're interested in. So I know every year we have this event called Raucous where students present what they've been working on. Normally about over 200 students present every year. And it really gives, kind of walking through them, students, research anything. One student was looking into honeybees. Another student worked with the Denver Zoo because she wanted to make a children's book and wanted to make sure her facts were correct. One student went to Bolivia with a professor to test to see the development of lungs of newborns at higher elevations. Another student went out to Breckenridge for a film festival and wanted to study how the film festival impacted small business owners and their revenue. So it can really be about anything that you find interesting. With our experiential learning, that's our internship office. So if you wanted to have an internship, which again, our location downtown means you have access to hundreds and hundreds of companies at your fingertips that are within walking distance. And a lot of them do partner with us because they do look for CU Denver grads because they know that they are very high caliber. And then our Center for Identity and Inclusion. So this is really just a safe space. There's tons of counselors on hand. It's really for there's one for every single race, African-American, Asian-American, Latinx, Hispanic, like there's just someone available to talk to. There's also one for women and gender. And so it really is, it's a very open campus. It's really a very kind of a family feel. Everyone's very welcoming and everyone is very kind of has this family feel. And so that office is really there just if ever a student needs to be heard or just, needs someone to talk to. And then my personal favorite office is the Global Education Office. That's our study abroad. I know it's kind of weird to think about studying abroad right now, but eventually the world will open up to us. And so kind of with that, we have tons of opportunities. There's faculty-led programs, there's semester-long, year-long. And really, I think for me, it's a huge experience. I personally studied abroad in college. I went to Germany and I loved it. It was something that it taught me a lot about myself. I came back and had thousands of photos, but it was really, I don't know if I would have moved up to Colorado by myself if I hadn't studied abroad. And then kind of living on campus. So no matter what school you're looking at, it definitely can, consider living on campus. We're very unique. CU Denver does not require students to live on campus, but I would definitely consider it. A lot of studies have shown that there's a higher GPA, a better graduation rate. There's just an easier transition. Especially for us, we have a lot of events for our residents. So I know last year they did a luau, they had like a succulent plant party, they did movie nights, study groups. So there's a lot of fun opportunities there. And you have that feeling of community. At CU Denver, we are building a brand new residential hall. It's called City Heights. And so it's definitely something that is pretty cool because it gives you the opportunity to, if you're a class of 2021, if you're starting next fall, you would be the first person ever to live in this dorm. So that room, you could christen that room, you'd be the first one ever. So we're really excited about that. And then we also have Links Crossing, which is going to be turned into our upperclassmen residential halls, and they're more of apartment style setup. And I actually think it's bigger than my own apartment. And so they're very nice. You get a full size refrigerator and everything. And we also have roommate matching too. So if you're coming and you don't know anyone, we do fill out, it's kind of like an online dating profile, and we do match you. So you're not just placed with a complete random person. And then kind of paying for college. So kind of for all colleges, definitely if you're, a senior, make sure that you file the FAFSA on October 1st. That's when it opens. And you only have to do the FAFSA once, and then you can put all of the school codes on. And then also 3 really important websites are scholarships.com, igrad.com, and fastweb.com. So all 3 of these are just databases filled with scholarships. So you can create a profile, they're free to use, and you can just apply to tons of scholarships. Definitely kind of do that throughout your senior year because it never hurts. It definitely, is pretty good to have access to all of those. And then specifically at CU Denver, we do have merit-based scholarships. So this is based off of your application. You don't have to do anything extra for those. And then we also have Scholar Links. So Scholar Links is a separate scholarship application. It does open on October 1st, same as FAFSA, but it does close March 1st. So definitely make sure that you do Scholar Links between then, because that does give you access to so many more scholarships that you could use at CU Denver. And so kind of to apply, so we are not on the Common App yet. So you do have to go through our website, fill out the application. We do have a $50 application fee, but if that is a hindrance or, especially with the economic times as they are now, I am more than happy to waive that if it's needed. You can just shoot me an email and I can waive that fee for you. Then all we need is your high school transcripts. We do not require, we are test optional for the class of 2021. We also do not require essays. We do not require letters of recommendation. So all it is the application and your high school transcript. So that's it. So pretty easy. We are on a rolling admission basis, and so we don't have early action or priority. And then our deadline isn't until July 31st. So you have plenty of time. So we don't have a December or March deadline. So you do have plenty of time to apply. But like I said, with those merit scholarships, so they are based off your application. But with those merit scholarships, they are first come, first serve. So definitely make sure you apply earlier so you can get more merit scholarships. And so that's it. So again, like I said, I am kind of your personal admission counselor. So I work with all of our out-of-state students. So feel free, please send me an email if you ever need it. I'm definitely here to help. But yeah, so I'll kind of open it up. And if you have any questions,